Welcome to the Get Fit Guys, quick and dirty tips to slim down and shape up. My name is Ben Greenfield, and I'm the Get Fit Guy. You've probably heard a story something like this. A small child is trapped under a burning car, and in a feat of superhuman strength, the child's mother rushes to the car and lifts the entire vehicle with all their might, freeing that child from sure death. Or you may have also heard that chimps or gorillas can be 10 times stronger than humans, able to bend steel bars, punch through walls, or throw huge boulders. Well, in both these cases, the mother and the monkey are relying upon a complete rewiring of a special mechanism that your body has built in to keep your muscles from tearing due to excessive force. This mechanism is called an inhibition reflex. And in today's episode, you're going to learn exactly how to use that reflex to build superhuman strength and trick your body into getting as strong and powerful as possible. Let's first talk about this inhibition reflex. Built into every muscle in your body is a special organ called a Golgi tendon organ, or GTO. When your muscle contracts and generates a force, the GTO fires off nerve impulses to your spinal cord, and then your spinal cord responds with a reflex called an inhibition reflex. This nervous system inhibition signals your muscle fibers to limit force production when the muscle has increased tension. While this mechanism can be a very convenient way to keep you from, say, tearing your biceps while lifting a heavy object, it can, at the same time, inhibit your performance when you're trying to lift a heavy weight, push the bike pedals hard, run up a hill, maximize your pulling force while swimming, or even lift a piece of furniture. Now, in the case of the mother saving her child from a burning car or a gorilla escaping from the zoo by bending steel bars, your brain has overpowered that inhibition reflex, resulting in a higher threshold of the GTO. Now, here's the good news. Just like the mom and the monkey, you can increase the excitatory threshold of your GTO and vastly improve your power and your strength. A poorly trained human will always have a GTO that kicks in before much force can be produced. But with proper training, you can actually trick your muscles into contracting at a higher force and higher speed before your muscle-protecting inhibition actually kicks in. Now, here's how you can trick your muscles. By teaching your body how to have a faster, what's called a stretch shortening cycle, you can make your GTO less likely to send signals to limit force production when your muscles have increased tension. And this allows for greater contraction force than you would normally be able to produce during a strength or a power exercise or during swimming, cycling, running, or any other activity that requires you to have a high training ability. Now, the stretch shortening cycle is simply the period of time it takes your muscle to transition from an eccentric phase, such as your foot landing on the ground while running, to the concentric phase, such as your leg muscles contracting as you push your foot back off the ground. Now, this cycle can easily be trained through explosive and powerful movements, which are often referred to as plyometrics. Now that you know how to trick your muscles into that superhuman strength, I'm going to give you 9 exercises to get you started. Now, for each exercise, your goal is going to be to train your GTO by absorbing a force and then contracting to produce a new force as quickly as possible, thus decreasing the time of your stretch shortening cycle and getting rid of some of that inhibition reflex. Now, for the exercises I'm about to describe, you can get videos for each of these at youtube.com/Ben Greenfield Fitness. Simply search there by exercise name. Exercise number 1 is depth jumps. To do these, just get up on top of a raised platform or a box, step off of it, land with both your feet, and then right away jump as high as possible. Minimize ground contact time when you're doing a depth jump. The next is single leg hops. And for these, with one leg, you just hop onto a slightly raised surface. You can even jump onto the back of a treadmill, as long as that belt isn't moving. Exercise number 3 is bounds. For bounds, you run, but you use very oversized strides, and you maximize the amount of time you spend in the air. Every time your foot strikes the ground in between bounds, you push off as hard as possible to maximize your stride length. Number 4 is clap push-ups. You do a standard push-up, but you push up explosively. You clap hands, and then you land. And you can do these from your knees if necessary. Number 5 is med ball throws. For these, take 2 to 4 steps and then throw a medicine ball explosively from your chest as hard as possible, either in a grassy field or gym or against a wall. Extend your arms fully when you're throwing that med ball. Number 6 is medicine ball slams. For these, you hold a medicine ball overhead and then you slam it into the ground as hard as possible. You catch it or pick it up off the ground if it's not the kind of medicine ball that bounces, and you repeat. Exercise number 7 is skipping. Power skipping specifically. For this, you perform playground-style skipping with your knees exploding towards your chest as high as possible. Similar to those bounds I described earlier, your goal should be to maximize the amount of time that you spend in the air and powerfully drive your knees towards your chest in between each skip. Number 8 is jump rope. For this, simply perform double or alternating leg jump rope with a focus on minimizing ground contact time, fast feet, and get as many jumps as possible in the allotted period of time that you're jumping rope. Number 9 is hurdle hops, and I'm including this side-to-side movement due to the lack of lateral motion in most strength training programs or fitness programs that include only front-to-back running or riding a bike, elliptical trainer, etc. You can hurdle hop over a line, a tennis ball can, a cone, or a step bench, or just jump side to side as many times as possible in the allotted amount of time. You can jump with one leg or both legs. Now, you know those exercises, but let's put them into an actual superhuman strength training protocol. I'm going to describe exercises and repetitions in just a second, and you can go through the entire routine I described 2 to 3 times as a circuit. Unlike most circuits, you'll want full rest between each of these sets. In between each of them, you can read, sit around, or as I like to do, because I like to be as productive as possible when I'm doing exercises or workouts like this, foam rolling or stretching or mobility work. So here's how it goes. Number 1, start with depth jumps. Do 10 depth jumps from a 3 to 5 foot high box. Number 2, do 10 clap push-ups. Next, do 10 single leg hops for each leg up onto a slightly raised surface. Next, do 8 medicine ball throws. Next, do 20 yards of power skips, then 20 yards of bounds. Next, do 8 medicine ball slams, then 10 hurdle hops, and finally 20 seconds of jumping rope as fast as possible. Now, if you do this workout just once a week, you'll easily trick your muscles into producing superhuman strength, into having a faster reflex time, and basically into producing extra power whenever you need it. And until next time, I'm Ben Greenfield, the Get Fit Guy, asking you, what are you waiting for? Go get fit.